everyone. This is Mike.
And this is Josh.
And we are must see
before you die. That's right.
Hey, and today we're going to dive into some did you know type things on a movie we just did a review on, Friday the 13th part. What, Josh?
3.
So yeah, let me throw some facts up here on this thing.
Or Mike, Friday the 13th 3D.
Yeah. Friday the 13th 3D. This was, hey, I said this in the other one. I'd seen this when I was at the drive-in theater. My mother had took me, so it was kind of cool for back then for somebody in their, 11, 12, 13 years old and see this. Here's one of the iconic shots here of Jason right before he's coming down and chopped a guy right through the crotch that was doing a handstand. That was a really cool kill in that movie. But what jumps out to me right off the bat, Josh, is that tomato meter score and the audience score.
Yeah, I tend to agree with the critic score more than the audience score. Really, I mean, I think it's an all right movie to watch. It's a popcorn movie or whatever. But when you put it along, if you watch it in succession like we have, like it doesn't add a lot of anything. It doesn't make a lot of sense. Tell you the truth, it actually, if you watch 2. Let's say if you watch 1, 2, and 3 is kind of like just makes no sense compared to the other ones, in my opinion. So, I tend to agree with the critics 7%. I probably would go a little bit higher, maybe like a 20%, but still, yeah. And the audience, I can see how you could like this one because it is the introduction of the hockey mask Jason, and there's a lot to like with that, of course, because that's the look going on. And there are some cool kills in this, regardless of how bad, the movie is or acted.
Yep. So let's jump into some did you know type things. It says the house, barn, and lake were all purpose built on location. So this is not like in part 1 or part 2 where it really is a big lake and they just did the story around it. They actually built this on the site. And if I'm not mistaken, this was built in California. It wasn't in New Jersey like the previous film.
Right. They had to save money, and that's why they did all this. And when they made that man-made lake, they made it like really small, and it really shows. Because like in the first 2 movies, you can really tell how big this lake is. And in this movie, it looks tiny.
It looks like a little runoff pond nowadays that you see.
Yeah, it's tiny. And this takes place, I guess, across the lake, I think, or something. I don't know. It's loosely made to connect like that,
yeah,
I guess.
It says in here, the man-made lake wasn't properly sealed, and subsequently, the water drained into the soil during the first week of filming. So I guess they had to go back and reseal it and fill it back up again.
Yeah, well, it wasn't very big, so.
No. So the next one is Larry Zerner was cast as Shelley when the producer spotted him handing out flyers for a horror movie and asked him if he'd wanted to star in the one himself. So the guy really never was an actor. He was out putting, or maybe he was doing like local stuff, but he's out there putting flyers out, and the film guy saw him and said, "Hey, you want to be in our movie?"
Well, he did a really good job of being annoying in this movie. That's all I got to say.
He did. So according to the book Crystal Lake Memoirs, which I've got that book, it's a killer book. Chris's past encounter with Jason was originally intended to imply a sexual assault occurred from Jason.
And I don't think that was needed. That was needed. I think the whole encounter with Jason should have been cut.
Yeah, I think that what happened here, if I remember reading some other things, was if they were going to thinking about leaving this in here and it to be a sexual assault, so that when they killed him off, it looked like that was a done deal. Not only she killed a murderer, she killed somebody that was raping, had been raping people as well. But I think what really happened was the producers and the owners of this were like, "Yeah, let's don't do that. We might want to bring him back down the road." So they just pretty much let you think what you wanted to think. But they never did come out and say that's what happened.
Well, she was like, well, when I woke up from the encounter, I was in bed. Like, what?
Yeah, where'd that come from?
It's dumb.
So one of the actresses in here, I think she's the one that plays the one that's pregnant. Her name was Tracy Savage. She quit
Yeah.
acting after this and earned a journalism degree. She became a reporter, but continued to receive fan mail from Friday the 13th fans through her entire career. If I'm not
that is
mistaken,
true.
she was even put on the stand in the OJ trial. Was it the OJ trial?
Yes.
So that's pretty wild. So this is the first, but not only Friday the 13th film where Jason starts off with no mask. The others being Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives, which was in 1986, and Friday the 13th Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan, which is 1989.
Hopefully those are better than this one.
Jason is first seen wearing the hockey mask exactly at 1 hour into the film.
And I do like it. I think, I don't know why they chose to make him like a big lumbering man instead of like the way he was, like just a normal average guy. I'm not sure, maybe it's more intimidating, I guess, but I didn't think there was anything wrong with his original design.
No, and this, we said it in the review of the movie. This is the first time the hockey mask came out, and I think you had even told. Was it originally? Was you messing with me when you said it was a Detroit Red Wings hockey mask originally, or is that the truth?
Yes. It was designed after the Red Wings hockey mask.
Right, and I did think they did a good job because most of the stuff is always supposed to take place in New Jersey, and with this being in California, they still did a good job of making sure license plates said New Jersey. Street signs in the backgrounds had New Jersey on it. I did think they did a good job of that.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
So, see,
I think there is one scene though that I've seen that they pointed out that you can see palm trees in the background though.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yep.
It's kind of like the old Halloween that they did in California and they messed up and it's supposed to take place in Illinois. So,
yep.
Jason, let's say Part 3 is the only Friday the 13th film in which none of the characters actually say the name Jason.
That's right. Because to me, besides the Chris, none of them had anything to say about Jason. They didn't know about they didn't know about Camp Blood. They didn't know about anything. So these all were unsuspecting victims, in my opinion, besides Chris.
Yep.
And she didn't even know who the guy was that attacked her. She had no idea who the guy was.
Yep.
So, yeah.
And it says one alternate ending involved Jason decapitating Chris, but they didn't go with that one. And that Chris was the main character in here, but they had, at the very end, they kind of make her look like she's kind of Fruit Loop. She lost her lid and she's kind of making noises and like crazy noises when they put her in the back of the police car and drive her off.
Right. So one of the things I'd like to add here, Mike, is the original script for this movie was a lot different, Mike. The original script for this movie was the girl, Jenny, from the second movie. She was actually going to go to a psychiatric ward because she was having a hard time mentally with what happened to all the people she knew and all this. And Jason actually was going to go there and stalk her there and start killing employees there. So kind of like Halloween 2. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's what it seems like to me. Kind of felt like Halloween 2 in a way. But that was the original script. But then the girl that played Jenny, her agent told her she should not be involved with any more horror movies because it could ruin her potential career. So she decided she did not go with it. So once she was out, they went with a whole new story.
Yeah, and that's a shame because it is what it is. I like the character of Jenny in the second one.
Yeah,
she was She was tough. She was smart, and I thought she did. To me, in my opinion, and you have to watch the review. I thought hopefully you've seen the review before you watch this. I thought Part 2 was a much better movie than Part 3.
Yeah, Part 2 is my favorite out of the three. The three movies, Part 2 is the best and better, and my favorite out of the three that we watched so far. And Jenny definitely is the best final girl out of the three.
Yeah, she was a good actress. Anything else you want to add to this, Josh?
No, I think that's it. I think that is it.
Yeah. So,
and I think we did mention that this does hold the Guinness Book of World Records of 2 people getting off the toilet and pulling their pants up and walking around without wiping at all. So this does hold the record for that.
Yeah, when you go back and watch this movie, look for that and laugh and just say, hey, Josh and Mike are the ones that told us about that. But my 12-year-old son's noticed that right off the bat, like, hey, they don't wipe, they just pull their pants up and start, looking for whoever's outside. I don't know. Hey, please like, comment, subscribe. Tell us what you think about this. Did we tell you anything that you didn't know? Hey, let us know something if you like this movie and you got some fun facts, some things behind the scenes you'd like to tell us. Please tell us. And we hope to see you guys later. We're going to be doing number 4 next, and that should be a lot of fun, which number 4 is really the final. What's it actually called?
The final chapter.
The final chapter, yes. So,
yes, and it's and the reason why we're doing these is because this month there is a Friday the 13th. So we thought January we'll do all Friday the 13th, and then I think there's another Friday the 13th this year, Mike.
Yeah, I think there's one in can't hold me to it, but I think October, November there's one.
Okay, so then in that month we'll pick up where we left off, and we'll do 5, 6, and 7 in that month.
Cool
so
deal.
it'll be good then. So yep, we are, and then once we do like a chunk of these, then we can kind of do some offshoot videos of the series so far, which is, I think I'm kind of looking forward to that, Mike.
Yeah, me too. I'm really interested in going back and researching the Rotten Tomatoes score for all the Friday 13ths and kind of rank them in the order of how Rotten Tomatoes says they are, and then see if it kind of matches what I think my favorites are, or least favorites.
No doubt. Fun. So, yep, it will be fun. So,
catch you guys later. Y'all have a good one. Thanks. Have a good one, Josh.
Guys.